Brazil, it's not investing to try to develop more these industrialized sectors like technology, machinery. A lot of people have this view that's a country with the caipirinha, with the picanha, with the Amazon forest, and of course, dance a lot. We know how to dance. Brazil now, it's the ninth economy in the world.
Let's go to Brazil. Well, at least a part of it. It's a massive place. South America's largest country, and in fact the world's fifth largest country as well. I'm guessing you know which the four other ones are that are larger than it. 220 million people that live there, and where we're going today, Sao Paulo, has a total of 23 million people there as well. So, all's big in Brazil. Let's see what's happening there. Here we are again, around the world in 20 minutes with S. Sienas, here taking a stop in Brazil. Hey, Wagner.
Dave.
Brazil makes me think of like beaches, caipirinhas, beautiful people. You're all having a great time down there. Is that life in Brazil? How's it going in Brazil?
Hey, Dave. First, I have to thank you for the invite to stay here to talk about Brazil, to talk about leadership and the business. And yes, I'm here in Brazil. And a lot of people have this view that's a country with the caipirinha, with the picanha, with the Amazon forest, and of course,
Yeah, with you smiling a lot.
that dance a lot. We know how to dance, but of course, we have all of these things. But Brazil is not only this. Brazil, it's a very big country. And in the last 2 years, the country is going fast. Now we know we have the last year the change of our president, okay, and of course we had some impacts in the economy. But despite of the pandemic, I can tell you that Brazil is growing fast. Brazil now it's the ninth economy in the world. We are in the top 10 in the world. Companies don't know about it and don't want to understand how to do business in Brazil, how to create connections, how to find the market here in Brazil. And it's a big market.
Yeah, it's a big country. I mean, like this.
Yeah.
I mean, you say big. I mean, there must be massive differences between different regions. I mean, you're in Santos, Sao Paulo, which is presumably like relatively rich within the scope of Brazil. Yeah, is it very concentrated? All this economic activity and all this positive feeling in Brazil, or is it a countrywide thing? You would say?
Yes, Brazil is so big, of course, but we have this centralized points in the cities that concentrate the business. Okay, like in São Paulo, and we have maybe 6 or 7 cities that we concentrate 80% of the business and the money of the country, like São Paulo, Rio, Santa Catarina, Minas Gerais. And when we talk about, for example, we're talking about business and structure, Brazil has a concentrated logistics structure, talking about our business and our area. So it's quite complicated when we have to move cargoes, when we have to move materials from other places, distant places in Brazil, to the main points from where we can ship, where we can send it out. For example, Brazil has now, I think that 80,510,000 kilometers. So it's amazing when we compare. It's bigger than some continents. So
Yeah, but you say big. I mean, most of the activity is really coastal. I mean, you talk about major cities, interior of Brazil. I mean, Brasilia, but that's not an industrial hub. Manaus, maybe like served by the river. I mean, like most of it is down the coast, I would say.
yes,
Or is
that's
that
it.
not
Correct. The coast, of course, we have the big cities and the most important cities in the coast. Okay, like in São Paulo, Rio, because of course we are in the coast. When you talk, for example, about the Manaus or other states in the west of the country, the problem is we have just the production of commodities. For example, soybeans, cellulose, or corn. So it's an industry that only for commodities, not for the raw materials. You know, in
Right?
that
Yeah.
area that we have more industrialized sectors, we are concentrated here in the Sao Paulo area, Rio area, and maybe in the Santa Catarina, maybe 3 or 4 points that we have this kind of industry. So it's I say Brazil has a great potential, but the problem is we are still working with the mind of the countering. It's my opinion, my point of view.
Yeah.
We are still in the market like a country of the third sector. You know, Brazil, it's not
Hmm.
investing. In my point of view, is not investing to try to develop more these industrialized sectors like technology, machinery, parts. So most of those materials we are still importing. So, but
Okay.
in terms of the size, in terms of quality of material, raw material, we could provide, we could have an industry more powerful.
Okay. You say the economy is like going strong and seems to be stable from what you're saying and increasing at the moment. Are people feeling this? Are these just economic numbers, or do you perceive like a feeling of more comfort amongst people on a more human level, shall we say? Is this economic activity drifting down to people in their lifestyles and able to live a little bit better?
Yes. I think that we are facing in the world, not only in Brazil, we are feeling a change of the how the people are living. Do you know? Because after the
Yeah, yeah.
pandemic, the people they started to find a new way to live. Okay, so the people are trying to stay more at home. The home office, for example, it's a new scenario. So I can tell you that the people in Brazil, they have this, they are feeling what we are facing now, a change in the lifestyle, okay? But they can see that
Hmm.
Brazil is a good place to live. For example, when we compare maybe 4 or 5 years ago in numbers, when we say about numbers, we had now an increase of 2 or 3 years in the life expectation. You know, we move from 76 to 76, 74 to 79 now. So the life expectation has increased. So I can tell you that the people can see the moment that the country is, you know.
That's good to hear. So you say like and you're noticing as well not just growth but also stability. That is a kind of what people want as well, not just
Jobs.
ups and downs continually. Yeah, some sort of sustainable growth in the economy, and because often in Latin America, there's like you see this great swings in politics and stability in the economy as well, and in increasing many other parts of the world as well. Polarization of politics, which doesn't really help for a stable, ongoing growth for a certain amount of time. And I don't think Brazil is any different from many other countries in having such polarization. You see that calming as well in the situation at the moment. People feeling more less polarized and problematic, or does that continue? You would say?
No, unfortunately, we have this situation in Brazil, and we had this stronger in the last election that we had 2 years ago. We
That
have,
was like 2 years ago,
yes,
right? Yeah, yeah.
yes, we have this polarization. We have the right and the left side fighting all the time. I can tell you, for example, in Brazil, Bolsonaro, okay, was in the charge of Brazil, and he was investing a lot in the agro business here in Brazil. Okay, so he
Hmm.
took some duties. He was putting some financial lines to investments, and this area was growing. Growing in the 4 years that he was there in the presidency. So after that, when Lula was in charge, he took maybe 4 or 5 lines of investment in this agro market. And we, for example, leadership, we have a lot of customers that they work in that area, and they told me, Wagner, we decided to stop investing in buying new machineries. We stopped to renew our machinery because we don't have more money. We don't have more credit lines to buy and to renew our machineries. So this is the point for me. When you have a change of the political situation, you have the change of the way that the country is going. Do you know what I mean? So it's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
stable. The things that start now, we don't have, we are not sure that will continue when we will have the change of the president, the position of the new presidential government in a way. So it's quite complicated. We have the four years to have the things going, because it's only the period that we have that person in charge. This is a problem for me.
And all around the world as well. What I increasingly see when I speak to people around SCN and other places is that everyone wants the same. Everyone wants like a stable life, a good lifestyle, and increasing slightly working hard to pay the mortgage every month, good education for their kids. Everybody wants the same. Everyone wants the same stability. And we get a room of people, of SCN members or any logistics people together, and there may be different opinions and different political opinions, but they find a way to get on and agree and progress together. Even if these are sometimes warring companies, they come together sometimes. And then we get the politicians pulling us apart. So maybe the solution is that we should just get SCN members to be the presidents of countries.
It's a good idea. It's a good idea. Yeah.
I
Yep.
mean, like the politicians always seem to be. I generalize. The politicians seem to like try to get their message in a polarized, bit-sized comment. So they pull people one side or the other. And what we want is to pull people
Yeah.
together. And
Yeah.
it's like nobody wants to be polarized, but we get drawn into this political debate, and the only way we can do it is to pull apart. So there you go. So Wagner for president
Next
next time
time,
round, maybe.
yes,
Yeah.
please. Count on me. Count on me. Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Right. Well.
Yeah, and I can tell you because, for example, and between Bolsonaro and Lula, okay, we have Bolsonaro in the right side of the as a right position, and he was investing a lot in economy, in in the agricultural sectors, and he was trying to put the economy in front in his govern. But Lula, in the other side, in the left side, is thinking more about the human, the people, the social. So this is the matter for me. This is the big issue. They don't thinking about we have a mix. Do you know? We must, of
Yeah.
course,
Yeah.
we must to thinking about the people, the social, but we can't forget about the economy, because it's like we say, we don't have only to give the fish, you have to teach how to fish. So
Exactly. Yeah.
this is the point for me. Lula has this issue. He's just thinking about their people. Do you know, their people, the people that support them, the people that they want only to care about the social. And it's quite short, because in 4 years we will have a new election, we will have a new president. And how about the country, and how about the people? This is a issue. Yeah.
Yeah, it's difficult to get the balance between the two, but of course, no politician thinks only about the economy, only about the people, but the balance and the importance of each is really where the difference comes in, I suppose.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know, difficult to do, difficult job you'll have in the future when you're president. In that case, Wagner, I think. Yeah.
Yes, let's do it.
Anyway, let's get back to logistics. How did you fall into logistics? You were working in Varik before forwarding, yeah?
Yeah, my history with Varigi was, I had a friend of mine worked there in the Varigi, and he invited me to join the company as a trainee. So I started there, loading aircraft, creating and building aircraft pilots. and I stayed in the operations 5 years, okay, in operations. And after that, I joined the sales team of Varig. So my duty was to visit freight forwarders. It's very interesting because I visit freight forwarders and I negotiate the rates with them. And in that time, I'm talking about maybe 15 years ago. I'm so young. I know that I'm very young,
Yeah,
but
yeah, 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 yeah.
I visit the freight forwarders and I negotiate the rates and in good times in that time because in that time we had the connection, Dave. It's another point for me.
Right. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
we discussed this before, but I say of course we must to have the technology. We must to use the tools that we have to improve the process, to have to short the distance, but nothing it's better than we have the face-to-face connection, you know. So in that time my duty was go there, sit with the companies, grab a coffee, do you know.
There's like there's kind of two lines there as well, because one line is, as you say, the physical face to face situation where you're meeting, and maybe with the upcoming situations where we're video connecting and whatever, that's in time will change it. But another important part, I think, is you actually, touching the boxes and putting them in the
Mhm,
planes and
mhm.
whatever. And that sort of, from one side to the other, contact allows you to get a better understanding of the business, I think,
Sure.
and changing, that is called
Mhm,
changing sides. Yes,
mhm.
from being from the airlines negotiating with the freight forwarders to becoming a freight forwarder as well. That gives you a better all-round experience, I think, now. And so, as you say, you know what is possible. You know it's difficult. Yes, you can load a plane in 5 minutes. No, you can't, because you've done it, and you know it takes more than
Okay.
5 minutes or whatever. Yes,
Mhm.
and although these things change, I mean, how do you see it? The industry changing now, because younger people are entering the industry. And they are both demanding and also having the solution, which is like loading a plane at a click of a button,
Yes, that
not physically, but from their
yeah.
office. They are disconnected with these aspects of the operation. I think is that the way forward? How is that changing things? You would
Yes,
say.
it's perfect. Perfect point. Yes, we have a new people entering the industry, and this is the point of view. This new generation, let's say
Get it done now.
now,
Yeah,
yes,
get it done
yes,
now. Yeah.
everything must be very fast. I have to click a button and everything happen. So this is the point. When I worked in the airline, I got this background to understand the business and also to create to give to our customers a better background of the business, because when a customer come to me and say we need to do this, we need to do that, I know what is possible or no. So because I live that, I could to have the opportunity to see that. But I can tell you that we have to try to do the balance between the people. For example, here in leadership, I have people here that work maybe 15 years in the company. 15 yes,
Mm-hmm.
12 years working the company. It's so the old generation, and we have young people that maybe they have I have the youngest employee that I have here, it's maybe 21, I guess. So we have a person who has almost the same age that the other one. So what we are trying to do is to create a synergy between these two generation. We take all the background that the older person has with this new generation, so that for me, it's they think very fast. The new generation, they have good ideas, they think very fast. So and sometimes this will help the people that the older people that we have to try to do the things better. So it's important to try to do this. It's why I am trying to do here. It's to create a balance between these two generations.
Yeah, I think it's always been the case as well, that the balance between respecting and understanding the lessons learned and the experience of older people and the younger people as well with more enthusiasm. Not to say that the older people don't have enthusiasm and ideas, but it's certainly a question of the balance. But I mean, we've seen this in logistics for many years, like sort of third party logistics, then fourth party control, and fifth party. There's always a guy in a truck picking up a box somewhere, and if we're having third party, fourth party, fifth party, that's a lot of parties. But like, unless we actually have some guy driving the truck or the equivalent loading the aircraft, there's not going to be a party forever in that case. And so we need to not get too lost in the planning. And I think your experience of loading boxes. I also have loading boxes at
Oh,
times.
really? Yeah.
Back in the year, yeah. But not as a full time, but like certainly like sort of picking up cargoes on for clients when I was a forwarder and doing certain things which is more hands on, which I don't think really is happening so much these days. It's much more segmented, the actual tasks which you're doing. But even so, I think it's important to have this wider range.
Yeah.
So tell a bit more about leadership. I mean, you've been a little bit quieter on an international front while you've been developing a lot your national trucking side, I understand, in leadership. Yes. How's that going for you? Is that an important line now?
Yes. Because as we talked before, Brazil is quite big. So because of this, we have the issue or the situation that the logistics sector is quite centralized here in São Paulo, mainly in São Paulo area. Okay, so it's quite expensive when you have to move cargoes from other points to bring down here to São Paulo. So we were facing problems with not only price, of course. We are not being competitive, but also the quality of service that we were getting from the other truck companies and the other suppliers of logistics like warehousings or customers brokers. So 5 years ago, we decided to start investing in our own logistics structure here in Brazil. So we of course we are doing step by step, but now we are located. We have 6 warehouses located in the main industrial cities in Brazil. Okay, so we are in Rio, in the more to the north. We are, for example, in Itajaí, more in the south. But we have 6 warehouses located to consolidate cargo and bring to São Paulo to ship, mainly from our Guarulhos International Airport, because leadership has a great experience. We are more specialized in the air industry. So we decided to put our head office very close with the Guarulhos Airport. So we are 50 minutes far from the airport. So we can pick up the cargo with our own fleet of trucks. We have now over 65 trucks, okay, circulating between the points of consolidation points. And we pick up in delivery the cargo in those areas, and we send to our points of consolidations to our warehouse, and we can be very competitive. We can have more quality, and and this is going very well because we understand now that rates now in the market are like a commodity. Okay, so everyone has the same. When you say about the air freight or ocean freight, it's almost a commodity. So how can we be different? How can we put a step ahead of our competitors, offering a logistics structure with quality and competitive costs? So it's going very well. So now we are trying to.
You mean services to other freight forwarders also, or mainly to importers and exporters, or how does that work? The balance?
Both. It's very interesting point because we are not offering this kind of service not only for our customers, of course, but also for other freight forwarders in Brazil because it's not common, it's not usual. Even the big ones, the big players, they have their own logistics structure. They use in the most part of the time third suppliers like other trucking companies and the warehousings and customers broker. So we are
Hmm.
now maybe six or seven other freight forwarders that we offer and they use our logistics structure. It's quite interesting. And also it's interesting because with this cargo, with their cargoes as well, their shipments, we can do maybe sometimes daily deliveries. For example, in Guarulhos, we have daily deliveries with our trucks. In Santos, we have daily deliveries. In Viracopos, that's a very important airport here in Brazil. We have a truck maybe one day yes, one day no. So it's quite interesting.
Great, great. So it was running efficiently and smoothly until you hit the Brazilian customs, and that's a different story, I guess.
Yeah, that's it.
We won't blame you for that in that case.
That's it.
Okay,
Great.
great. Well, and how many are you now in leadership in Brazil? How many people are you in the company?
When we talk about both units or both business that we have over 100 people. Okay, in the
Okay, great.
international, when we say about the freight forwarding business, we have around 55 people, and the rest in the logistics, in the warehousing, and the truck company.
Great,
Okay.
great. So a good sized company. Plus, of course, your operations in Colombia, where we were last year in for our regional
Yeah.
meeting. Plus, you have an office in
Yes, we
Miami,
have
and
Cartagena.
then we have an office in Italy as well, right?
Yeah, yeah. Miami, it's just a warehousing to consolidate their cargo to ship and to
Hmm.
Brazil and to Colombia. We have United States. We have three people in the warehousing and two people in the operation. So it's only five people.
Anyway, again about Brazil. We can't really think about Brazil without thinking about environmental issues as well, which is like on everybody's lips all over the world. And Brazil is kind of because you have this great little park in your
Yeah.
backyard, the Amazon rainforest. Maybe people just, I don't know, think of you as more responsible, more to blame, or whatever. How is the environmental feeling in Brazil at the moment? Are people genuinely concerned? What we see a lot of other places is people like to greenwash and like pretend to be environmentally concerned but not do very much. What's the situation in Brazil at the moment? You would say.
Yes, again, we have the polarization of the country. Again,
Right?
yeah,
Yeah.
of course, we have the Amazon forest, and it's very important not only for Brazil but for the world. And we have a big issue when we talk about when we try to do the balance between the environmental sustainability, and we have to think about the industry. And for example, we have the cattle
Mhm.
industry. Okay, and the Bolsonaro again. When we had Bolsonaro in the charge of Brazil, we had an increase of degradation in Amazon forest in 10% in 3 years when he was in charge of the power. Okay, because he was opening the doors to the cattle industry. No, and in this time now with Lula, they are trying to put in place new. How can I say? They are trying to put a new concerns. They have new sectors that trying to stop the degradation. I heard that they are doing weekly operations, mainly in the Amazon forest, to try to avoid or to stop the degradation. So I can tell you that's a concern for the most of people, but we have this situation because Brazil it's is still a country of the third sector. So it's quite complicated when you say that you have a country that must to grow and have that space, the big space that maybe can use to invest to develop that area. But in the other side, we have to think about the environmental sustainability. So I don't know. Lula,
It's a
yes, is trying to do.
it's a difficult situation. I mean, like I know there's been like comments from a certain French president as well, like sort of saying, like, sort of, I mean, you on a global scale, you should be doing one thing, but more nationally, obviously, there's a responsibility to the people. It's a difficult balance to get to.
Yeah,
Yes?
yeah. But let's see.
But
The
still,
people here in Brazil, they care about this matter. It's a concern. For example, we have a big cost. So I know that the people do some actions. For example, as you were in Bangkok, to take the trash from the beaches, the people
yeah.
clean the beach, the people trying to do some action in this area.
That was in Colombia, and it made me actually quite sad that because like we spent the day
In
going
Colombia,
and
and it
cleaning the
was
beach
in
or whatever. In Colombia,
In
yes, in
Colombia,
Cartagena,
yes, in
yes, it
Cartagena,
was.
it was in
Yeah.
Cartagena.
But you finish the day and you think, wow, I've helped here, and then you realise I haven't helped at all because
It's
the next tide will come in and it'll get dirty again. Of course, you have taken a little bit away, but it's just so much not a solution. We were really lucky because we assisted by having the boat we were in. We also sponsored it, so there was another group of school kids coming on board as well,
Mhm.
who cleaned up maybe more than us, maybe less. That's not the point. The point is trying to get the mentality to change to make people think a little bit more about the use of plastic. And it's more that in the long run
Sure,
than actually cleaning some beach.
sure. This is
But
the
unless
point.
you get your hands dirty, you don't really think about it so much. And so people maybe take a few smaller steps in the right direction. But
Yeah.
I don't know in Cartagena it was bad, but some other places you read about it's atrocious, the situation with the plastic on the beaches. But we don't need to just clean the beaches. We need to stop
Stop this.
things
Yeah,
going onto the beach. That's the issue.
yeah.
Yeah.
This is the most important
But
point.
still, I know
Yeah,
it's hard. Yeah.
good.
So we've talked a little bit about the economy, about your company. So maybe about your work-life balance.
Wow.
How are you hitting that? Are you
Yeah.
Are you getting it right?
Yes, I'm try.
Are you happy? Are you happy, Wagner?
I'm always happy. I'm always happy.
That's good. So give me a number. Give me a number between 1 and 10 of your happiness. I'll allow decimals. 1 to 10. What would
Let's
you
say maybe 7. Let's say maybe 7. Seven's a good.
Okay,
It's a
yeah.
good point. So
Yeah.
so it is.
Or spend more time going out for a coffee with your clients.
Yes,
Or, okay, but in there as well, yeah.
yes. Or dancing, or dancing.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, but that's after work or whatever. Yeah. Sure.
Good.
But still, yes. So let's see if we can continue in that line, getting some more contact going, and raise that 7 to a little bit higher
Great.
next time we speak.
Okay.
Anyway, so Wagner, so it's been great speaking to you. We've taken a little bit longer than 20 minutes, but Brazil's a big country, so maybe we can allow that in that case. But thank you very much for your time, and we'll go on and find out more about another country in the world. Where would you like to hear about?
Germany. It's a
Germany.
country that I'd like to know more about it. You know? Yeah, maybe
Well,
Stefan can be the person to talk here for us. But thank.
well, we'll have a quick ask around some of the German members and see if we can get somebody there to add some comments there and tell us a little bit more about their perspective on Germany. A little bit different from Brazil, but
Yes,
but
yes.
anyway.
This is the idea. It's to learn about more countries that are maybe very different that we have in our country, in our life. This is the quite interesting of this kind of work that we are doing, David. So congratulations for what we are doing. It's a very nice idea.
No, congratulations to you as well. I know it was a little bit a nervous situation to start off and get this podcast, but for me too. I mean, it is strange. We have such a natural conversation, and then we press the record button, and things change.
Yeah.
But I know it's been
Okay.
good. So anyway, Wagner, thank you very much for your time. We'll be in touch. Hope to see you in Panama, of
Sure.
course. Make sure you register as soon as possible, and we'll have some more conversations there, I'm sure. In that
No.
case.
Thank you, David.
Great.
David.
Thank you
And
for now.
we
Take care.
keep in touch. Bye bye.
Bye for now. Bye bye.